Miss Clubfoot. Yes, I know you're a raven. You are not a crow. Yes, you're kind of small. Ravens usually get pretty big. You guys are small. I wonder what this guy was spraying in the water, too. Yeah, it's the box, man. I never go to the gym. Oh, I'm tired. Gym? Take a nap. Oh, let me see if it's something else. They're charging. Yo, what's up, y'all? What's happening? I feel like I have to explain something again because, hey, Sharon, the people who matter have not been paying attention. And you see that? I'm going to help people who I entrust with information. I'm going to share things that are researchable. I'm going to read a little something from the book Tartaria, The Hidden History Unlocked, Shirwini Novinta, TartariaEmpire.com. I'm going to read a little bit. And I don't think people understand, from my viewpoint, things stated. So really, really pay attention because I'm tired. I don't think y'all are grasping what I'm saying. Now, I wasn't even going to come on and do this. But the people who matter, when I see them subjugate themselves to their own tirade, I have to recorrect them. And everyone needs to hear, so they don't make the same mistakes. Mistakes are all right. We learn from them. I learned from mine quickly. It doesn't take forever. Victory. Ooh, Jah. Sean Atwood. Ooh, Jah. Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, Jah, things will get brighter. Oh, yes, they will. La 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 la. La 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 la. Someday we'll walk together and we'll get it undone. Will we? La 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 la. Dum dum dum. Oh, I gotta sit up straight. My back hurts. I need 2 good days of fasting. I wish they had a nude beach around here like they did back on the East. Or on the res where I can go to certain places and get butt naked and lay out in the sun. Good little breeze for hours. Can't do that here. Oh, you can, with risk. I was thinking about taking a trip to Las Vegas or California just to do a little nude, but I'd rather go down to Black Star, Key West, by the old ketchup sign. Oh, they pulled that person over quick. Oh no, he's just being a doink. La 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 la. I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. It's good. Every day's good, y'all. I mean, I have my moments, like everybody. Remember, I expressed, if you haven't watched it, sometimes you gotta vent. You gotta be a little intelligent. Don't vent and get yourself in a whole lot of, hogwash and y'all call it trouble. But don't get yourself caught up in things you don't need to be in. You can vent, and even in venting, you don't have to necessarily live by it, hold yourself to it. It's to get it away. Because a lot of things are polluted and perverted, and it can affect everyone. And I'm not saying it has an effect on me. Well, it's not so much that it has an effect. I just tire of it. So I have to expel it. And words are power. Because it's your frequency, it's a vibration. And when you expel it, no matter how negative or we think is negative, you got to remember, there's nothing really negative. We create this disproportionately instead of it creating light. But there are times when I get so tired of people because they are so. I have to get it out. And so I've always told you I will be honest and show you. I never once lied. But some lie to themselves to feel comfortable. Well, you need to get uncomfortable. And I'm going to make sure you're uncomfortable so you can be comfortable. Now maybe some of you might start realizing why I tire. I tire for real. Of it all. I had to take the shoes off my feet, and even though it's concrete, I gotta let my feet breathe and touch closest to the earth. Oh, I gotta go put it in the dirt and the grass. Yeah. So when I get down here, I'm gonna go and sit in the sun by the water with my feet, let the ants and everything crawl all over them. Oh, I feel so good. Oh my goodness. There's nothing like it. feels so good. Oh, I'm gonna have a good day in the gym. Tomorrow I'm taking off though. I have the one day off and then go back and I hit the things that I did on the first day. Can't really record in Planet Fitness, but they know that I'm doing a before and after. I've got all the pictures and some videos. So y'all see the before, and in 6 months you'll see 59, 60-year-old man, right? Y'all believe that, right? Okay. Y'all believe because of the gray? The silver or white. Mine is pretty much silver and white. So it's not really gray. It's silver, literally, and white. For those who have looked at the pictures and looked at my hair, you can see like the silver outlining and white in my freaking hair. It's like my father's. His hair was long and silver. Well, at least the braided, you know what I mean? I had to come out them shoes, bro. I had to Chicken George it, bro. I had to get like my Uncle John for Roots, you know what I'm saying? When he played Roots, I had to let my feet out, bro. Uncle John said that was the best time in the movie. He said, yo, his feet, he forgot what his length. When he playing with Kansas City Chiefs, the times they would run barefoot. My Uncle John Amos. You know. Yeah. A long time ago. I wasn't even born when those guys started playing NFL and stuff. Well, I had not returned. I actually had not been gone too long. And poof, I was right back here. And that's why I say I don't know what this time is that they poured on y'all and why y'all even believe in time. I just don't get that. Somebody did me right in St. Vincent's Hospital. They shot me up with one thing, but I know two things were placebo. And that's why I was able to remember quickly. I don't know why my mother was beating me, though. I think she was, I don't know. Some things I don't know. She was 17. I don't know. For the sake of it, I cannot figure it out. I look at everything. I remember breastfeeding. I remember everything. I remember coming out the wound. I remember the pressure. I remember it all. I was talking to my first wife about it one time, and we were drinking, and I think we were drinking Boone's Farm. She got sick and threw up on the living floor. We had a living floor that dropped down. And I was telling her how I remember certain dots and spots on my mother's breast, and I was a hard suckler. And I remember the first face I saw when I came into this world. I wasn't supposed to see this face. I remember. And I remember where I was before I came. I couldn't say nothing to nobody. I didn't know how to. I was saying everything, but nobody knew what I was saying. Babble. No. I remember. Hey, what's Whitney? How you doing? How's it going? Let's give it a few more minutes. Oh, I'm trying to sit straight. My back is so. There we go. Core. Gotta sit straight, guys. And it's important, even if it's uncomfortable. Oh my God, this shit is uncomfortable. We become like the statue of fake liberty, you know, the false light bearer, so much more. It's all around the world, the statues. Oh. I'm gonna do my best not to speak spells that could negate negativity, because I don't. The truth will always be perceived as negative, because most people's interpretation is based on their own will and consciousness, when they're unconscious and without the will to thrust forward. Anyway, I want to read a little something from this book, but I want to express this. Either you're going to be honest and you're going to state what needs to be stated. You know, when I was sharing with people that there's a lot of IDF soldiers who committed suicide, they're on psychotropics, meth, or some form of drugs like that, and they're angry with the consulate, the Satanists, and nobody knows this. The Talmud will destroy you, and that's why it was created, and that's why it only has a few handlers. You know, I don't want to drag on that, but hopefully for the last time I express this. Some people will only want to do or speak on things because they want to fit a conscience, or they want to push themselves away from something they might feel. I'm not here to stop that. But we're in a very perverted time. And if you can look at those who want to share truth and think that they're speaking negative because you want to feel good all the time, then you're not doing the real work. I'm not knocking anybody, because it's more than one individual, it's several. I am not here to paint a rosy picture. I've stated this before in a couple of the lives. I'm here because most people want a rosy picture so they can hide from the truth of their existence. I'm not saying that that's their existence, but the existence you give power to. They have actors, right? They put in front of you on a camera who say all the things that each individual group or party wants to hear. And you'll negate yourself in servitude to one of those individuals. And then when they get in there, they do totally opposite. Is that negative, or is that functional in a negative way? Because there's nothing righteous. Now, I know a lot of you are very aware now. You have been played. So am I supposed to be positive in expressing these things? Or will you stand, or your stance on certain things? Or why you are slow in one vernacular and faster in another? We have choices. Even in the most obtuse point of despair, you have a choice. You think you breathe with your lungs. Well, your lungs are like your tongue that taste. Your lungs have silica, the little hairs like in your throat, that cleanse the air that goes to your blood, because your lungs don't really breathe. Your diaphragm helps to pump with intestinal fluids and your liver and spleen and everything, the blood that's full of oxygen to take to your brain, because when you start up with oxygen, what happens? Vertigo and you black out. It's not from the lungs. You say it's cut off. Well, you got to remember that the lungs is a muscle that cleanses the oxygen, to supplies the blood for your body to breathe. So if you're not practicing the strengthening of your diaphragm, you're not getting the best of clean air or oxygen, even though we know it's polluted, to squeeze out as much as possible, because they're working overtime. So that way you can have a little clarity of thought. So when you have silica in here, right, in your sinus cavity with fluids that cleanses, as well as when you breathe in your mouth over your tongue when you taste food, right? You can taste the turmeric and the garlic and salts and spices, right? Your mouth doesn't do it. Your tongue does, based on the consortium of your brain. It processes the information of knowledge, and therefore you know what it is. Just like the heart doesn't pump blood to your lower extremities or your arms. your muscles do, which is part of your vascular system, like a plumbing system. It carries from and to and from. So oxygen, the definition of H2O or whatever, you know, or water for that matter, it takes it in, cleanses it one more time, supplies the bloodstream, and you utilize it. That's how you breathe, through your blood, your capillaries, the healing factor, everything, not your lungs. It is a muscle. It performs this duty based on normalcy, not morals or anything else. That's why I said I was poisoned. My lungs were full of holes, yet I was able to still get in oxygen after pushing out the blood clots. And I learned that from martial arts and boxing, how to fall, to cough them out. So that way I can get air, a little bit of air in, and continue to cough out as much of the blood clots as possible. The silica wasn't performing because it was damaged. It was hurt by poison. But I was able to correct it, walk myself to the EMS, and to converse and convey what was happening over a several day period. They put all those people in front of you because they're aware that what you think and what you speak, how you breathe, creates your very existence. And they educated you so that way you would only process what they need from you. Is that negative by me stating this? Or is it plausible that you can research it and find for yourself? You are the embodiment of God. Why would you let anything remove that? I asked y'all to study God killers and all the different things. While the master Bushido, the top ones, don't want to take life. They see the relevance of the importance, but the ones who come to that don't revel in existence and the foundations of the natural stream, who only want for ego, which the destruction of life is steeped in ego and everything else, just like negativity. I can never be negative to those who already process negativity as a source of information. You make it relevant. You make things negative. I've always stated facts and showed you conclusively the moments that I feel things. I said I do feel. I don't feel like you. But when I process things that feel unimportant, inconvenient, I have to go through a process of elimination. With regard to with regard to myself, not disregard. And so I speak, whatever you call it, and say the things to relinquish it, to show you. Why is it so hard to understand? I'm not asking you to be complicit, but why is it so hard to have an understanding? I ask you to free yourselves. And how do I do that? To show you that your dollar means nothing, that you hold on to it. How many of you have read about the Rockefellers and the daughters and the children that wanted to be buried with the money? It was more than life in itself, though they were destroying the world. And I said, can you help us? And I don't think y'all understood, because now you're in that taxidermy situation of stuffing the body and stitching it to your liking. You think that I'm beneath you now. I'm asking y'all to be your better selves. I'm asking you to rise above the occasion. I'm asking you to be that which assists. T could tell you, there's no one that I travel by that I will not give something to, even if it's my last. So we are not the same. We are not. I asked you the relationship between the dragon and the wolf. I'm aware that most are very unaware of dragons. Well, that's the term they use. Just like monkey is to man. Well, not man, but hue of a man. Or is it man that is to monkey to bring the hue closer to man? You never thought of that, did you? I don't have time to be negative. I have partial enlightenment to be as positive, no matter how it sounds or how you feel. And as to the why, I'm going to read something out of this book, the Book of Tartary. And you know very well I have about 13. I have a couple that I could show you and you still couldn't purchase it. My daughter purchased it for me. It's too expensive. But if you don't mind, may I read? Well, all my people here and only 2 people hit the like. Indifference and tolerance, are they the same? I've written poetry and I've studied philosophy for a very long time. I studied the prophets, not to assimilate and to be. I marginalize myself because I have to humble myself. And in order to be honest and show you exactly, I have to have humbleness. It's hard. It's not easy. But then it is easy once you do it. And you realize it wasn't hard at all. Like being honest. It's not hard. Some would say they're being honest with the lack of knowledge of what they're being honest about. So I can never be really negative. You might feel that way disproportionately because you haven't checked your ego. The tedious, small, minute part of the ego is based on your own surveillance of self, if you're surveilling yourself. I can only do what I've been doing on here as far as content creation. And I know 3 years of comedy, well, much longer than that, but stand up in front of people. I had to be able to speak on things that were relevant and things that were funny based on real life situations, quote unquote. And I wasn't always good at it. I had to learn. So the vernaculars I use, curse words, y'all call them. Curse, I am not cursing you. Just think about it. I am not cussing you out. Think about it. Are any of the comedians doing it? Look at that motherfucker there. Bernie Mac. I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. There's a number of things. Yet, in our uncomfortable comfortability, we will always latch on and lean against and lash out at the people around us because of our ignorance. Ignorance, remember I already explained, is not a bad word for those who are in the bad person, good person phonetics of existence. No one is off limits. Nobody. Not even the ones I adore. You're not off limits. You're going to get the same as everybody else. You're supposed to be much healthier and stronger. Not denoting this fact, nor blaspheming against you. Not at all. No false accusations. No proclamations. You're already in that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and read Tartaria, Full Hidden History Unlocked by Shudwin Noventa. Just a couple of paragraphs, if it's okay. All right? Ants, you don't have no purpose coming over here when there was nothing over here for you in the first place. Your scouting and looking is not relevant, so stay away. Before I start saying things in French or something. That's not French, but jeez. Anyway. I know a lot of people get upset because melanated people made it. And I hate dummies and niggas and blah, 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 and so-called crayon colors and white and black and all that. Wow, is that negative? I am tired of talking to y'all about things because you listen but you don't hear, or you express that you're hearing when you're not listening. Is that negative? Hey, Tom. Well, it's like Enoch. In the Ethiopian and Eritrean Bibles, they're there. But the rabbinical order in the 9th century, which you know would probably be 1900s, changed that. They didn't incorporate it. Late 18, early 1900s, but it's based upon this order. And they didn't want it there. Because the Watchers could be consummated as the fallen, who shared knowledge, but could the fallen be some of our individuals that created a false elite? I don't know. I don't care. But let me read this from this book. That way you can research it for yourself. Were people invited from around the world? Around the world. Isn't that a spell? Makes you think the earth is round. Right? Some spherical ball. Nothing beyond. Yes, explicitly. Intentionally, and with great ceremony. So they revel. Just like the little idiots dancing when the towers came down and 3,000 whatever number were dead. The world fairs were not provincial gatherings. They were global events, orchestrated to present. That means a group of people got together and carried out a plan. Orchestrated to present a united front of modernity and progress to the masses. Usually after wars, most people are very unaware. There's still shock and dismay and a whole lot of death and a lot of things lost. Anyway, orchestrated to present a united front of modernity and progress to the masses. But beneath this public goal, many believe there was a hidden agenda, one that sought to consolidate control, divide ancient inheritance, and rebrand the past for a new world narrative. Royal families, scientific societies, universities, religious orders, indigenous elders, military officers, inventors, artists, and aristocratic elites alike, from across continents, received formal invitations to participate in the grand expositions. These were more than just symbolic gestures. They were diplomatic summons requesting not only attendance but contributions of architecture, technology, and people to build national pavilions and cultural exhibits. Really pay attention now. As far as the global transport routes, a coordinated effort. Now, to make these gatherings feasible, entire transportation networks were created. Special shipping lines were commissioned to bring guests from Asia, Africa, and Oceania. You haven't heard that word in a long time. Special shipping lines, right? Okay, were created. Created as if we weren't great seafarers beforehand. Railway lines and urban tram systems were expanded are built to accommodate fairer visions. You are very aware of that we invented the stationary tracks that move people, right? The train system, the monorail. Visas and passports were relaxed in many countries during fair periods, and something almost unheard of at the time. This wasn't a small cultural event. It was a massive planetary operation, possibly orchestrated by higher powers to divide the relics and knowledge of the old world under the disguise of celebration, or to be celebratory whatevers, endeavors. They had human exhibits, or darker truth. One of the most controversial aspects of the World Fairs, particularly the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, and I already read, the Negro was not allowed to partake in any of this. Why, I wonder? Something's biting me? Did an ant crawl up my ass? Excuse my language. Anyway, one of the most controversial aspects of the World's Fair, I feel like something bit me. World's Fair, particularly the 1904 St. Louis, I don't have crabs, that's stupid. St. Louis World's Fair was a display of entire ethnic communities. These were not simple booths or cultural showcases. Whole villages of indigenous Americans, Filipinos, Africans, Samoans, and other groups, changing the narrative already, were recreated in exacting detail. And the people were forced to live, work, and perform their customs in front of millions of spectators. They were framed as primitive or developing societies, contrasted with the grandeur of Western technological displays. But many researchers now propose a radically different interpretation. Could these people have been the remnants of Tartaria? Bloodlines? It is possible that these cultures, marginalized and displayed as relics, were in fact survivors or inheritors of the lost Tartarian Empire. Now, original Lone Wolf already showed you that that was a melanated woman. Already showed you, it still stands there in Salagua, or y'all call Chicago. Their sacred knowledge, their spiritual systems, and their understanding of earth energy, architecture, and healing. Couldn't have that no more. May have been studied, copied, or covertly harvested by the elite attendees of the fair, the old world, right here. And when you think about a global auction of culture and knowledge, look at this. Imagine the World Fair not as a celebration, but as a massive showroom. Every building, every pavilion, every cultural group, every artifact and catalog of Tartarian remnants. Ancient architectural techniques demonstrated, studied, then erased. Knowledge of free energy, cymatics, copper healing, and star alignments, carefully noted and repackaged. Indigenous wisdom rebranded as folklore or pseudoscience, and the original inhabitants of these lands displaced, and their heritage absorbed into imperial museums and Masonic archives. The fairs in this view were not gatherings of equal nations, they were ritualistic partitions where the spoils of the old world were divided among the architects of the new one. Final thought. A gathering of witnesses or a final farewell. The global invitations may not have been about inclusion, but documentation. By bringing together every race, culture, and tradition into a single location, as you know, 900s, 19, 18, we already know who created the races in what year, right? Pay attention. This is a dubious, devious portion of celebration, not for you to know the truth. So is it negative or the act negative? By bringing together every race, culture, and tradition into a single location, organizers could record, dissect, and decide what survived into the rewritten history and what would be forgotten. Was this the final unveiling of Tartaриas before the curtain fell? Was it a celebration of progressor, a funeral procession for an ancient world? That's the question we must now begin to ask. The colliding train spectacles, a symbol of the reset. Among the many strange spectacles featured in the World's Fair and surrounding events, few were as disturbingly theatrical as the stage train collisions. These were not isolated stunts, but reoccurring events across America in the late 1800s and early 1900s, timed around a near major expositions. The most infamous example was the crash at Crush in Texas, 1896, where thousands gathered in its two full-size steam Tartarian locomotives collide at full speed. The result, a massive explosion, scalding steam and flying debris killed several people and injured many more. And yet the event was marked and promoted by major railroad companies as entertainment, a live demonstration of destruction by the public's amusement. It's already initiating and installing the idea of chaos and chaotic ideologies and behaviors. But was it just entertainment, or was something deeper and more symbolic at play? I don't know. What do you think? Do I need to read all the inventors again? I think this is important now. We all know. Because if they were the inventors, they would have been the first ones that created the electric roller coaster at Coney Island. But they did not. We did. The Big Ben, the big clock. Do I need to go on again? So is that negative, or the act, the deed? Would negativity ever exist if it wasn't for what they've done? So I can never be negative. And if you refuse to remove the things that you hold on to, then you have this false ordination of something that you hold on to for whatever reason. That is not what you should do. And never falsely accuse somebody of something that they're not. I cannot be always happy. Symbolically, you got to remember what symbols are and the diabolicalness of it. Because it's convenient for your thought process. That means you're not really thinking. Is that helpful? I would hope so. I already stated I'm not here to be better than you. I want you to walk beside me. That's all I asked. To walk beside me. And I stated, if you ever need help and I get there, I will help you. I've helped quite a few people. They haven't paid me back. I don't look for it. I thought the payment, for those who are caught up in that ideology, was me sharing information. The world has moved on into its borrowing and borrowing accentuation of divide and conquer, of self and everything. And we still have a hard time seeing it. Why? Because we play a part in it. All right? Is there a book on Tartarian surnames? I don't know. I know that the last name Branch, which alludes to something steeped on the true tree of life, has nothing to do with the Branche, which is a borrowed name by the New French, but that is of the Choctaw. Check us out. I already proved it several times over, even with a French knucklehead that just wouldn't listen. And most of us branches, and a lot of them I met, we have a big gathering on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and some of them are still holding on to out of Africa and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at these people in their pictures, I'm like, dude, you really think, okay, new made Africa, the newly founded Africa, like, You cannot change individuals who are probably from your clan. And clan doesn't mean running around in tutus with feathers in your head. That's not what it means. It's going way back. It's beyond the scope of your understanding. It's deep, but it's not that deep. You know. But I hope that has helped. That's fun. Yeah, check House of Surnames. That's what you should look at. And they have flags and all that too. Hey, niece. Hey, Thom. We invented pretty much everything. It's crazy that most people don't know this. Yeah. Because of what's going on. I used to live 20 minutes away, walking distance from that statue in Chicago, right? And so you know, and Original Lone Wolf went and he did the film and showed everybody. I wasn't lying, you know. I visited a long time ago. I visited a lot of places that they destroyed even recently. You know. Appreciate it. Andy. Oh, it's all right, beloved. Andy, it's all right, beloved. It's okay. I don't, you know. I stumbled across someone telling him I'm drink. Yeah. You should need to share that. Shalom, Nitzia. What's going on? And that's a little name is always trouble or pain in ours. Whitney Cal, hi. None of that gaming, dude. Your singing voice is almost like lion kind songs. Sing the lion and sleep in the night. In the jungle. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. The lion sleeps tonight. No, I'm not gonna do that. I actually used to sing it too. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. My day again is going. It's decent. It always is, really, even when it's the most disturbed. India, yo, what's going on? Well, Hindustan. I'm not gonna let y'all take a term that was vestige for the people of America, the Negro land, and misquote and misuse it. It'll never happen just because some Zionists said so. No, you're Hindus, and a beautiful term and name that none else have to be utilized. Indian is from the word indigo, which alludes to a purple-like or green hue, which most of our people don't have anymore, based on the consumption of flesh. And that cleansing, while allowing the Zionist parasitics that they've slowly incorporated numerously over decades, if not centuries. Okay, Wolf Tactical. Okay, I gotta call them. I'm going to have a catch you later, but I will. All right, Sharon, Mama. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Now I'm going to have that song in my head. In the jungle. We could do it like Tiny Tim. In the jungle, the lion jungle, the lulu with the ukulele. Oh, let me stop. I just spit out tobacco, y'all. It ain't like I got my voice together right now. The mountains are on the campuses of Chicago State. Absolutely. When I asked about it when I was in college and was told that there were railroad tracks they wanted to cover up. Now they're so full of it. These professors and teachers are no good, you know. Tried to look on the House of Names, but they have pretty much erased the Amaru. And yes, they have. And they only did it because you allowed them. If we were fighting them, they wouldn't be erasing nothing. But yeah, so I hope that breaks up the monotony, and I hope people can interpret and have a deeper understanding. It's nothing personal. It's just when I have my moments, I need to vent. Some people do it in silence and quietness. I don't. I do it in front of you because I said I would not lie. I would not hide nothing from you. I did. I said I will share everything with you. Isn't that part of creating content? To be as feasibly honest as possible? I mean, if you don't want me to be honest, okay, we can try that. We can, instead of attempt, we can try that trajectory and see how that pans out. Okay? What do you think? Wow. Huh. No wonder nothing gets done to perfection. Everyone's too busy scurrying around to meet the needs and demands of the enemy, to fulfill some obsolete, insignificant narrative of forced labor, capitulation, and in-depthness of identity repurposing. But excuse me for using terms and words. Not know the Amaru ancestry if it was so damn curious. I know, right? Okay, I'm not gonna do that anymore. You ever seen that cartoon with the guy singing and he's throwing down in the cassette? He just think he's really singing, and then he plays it back, and the damn mirror cracks, the window breaks, the water starts squirting everywhere, and the plumbing uproots. Yeah, I'm not attempting to do that. I want y'all to see something so beautiful. My Canadian mallard geese, my ravens, look at them. They came to me to see if I had any sneaky snacks, right? And I don't. I don't have no sneaky snacks nor no bird feed. But I know once it's all said and done, I'm not spending those $600 on the back of my abode over there. I have stuff in there. I have about $405 or close to $700 worth of supply in there I need to put to work. So I won't be $600 or $700 in the hole, and then spend another $600 or $700, which ran out pretty quick, because of all the things that I had to do and being thrust from one place to another. And then even though I made a little chump change, we had to, eat, and we enjoyed each all's company, and so we decided we give a Planet Fitness, we'll work out, keep our heads clear. I figured why not? I didn't eat bread today. I'm stopping the bread thing for a little while. I mean, I'll probably eat a burrito or something, but I want to stay away from white flour and this jacked up nasty corn they have perverted. Thank goodness there's still people growing real watermelon. The system is perverted and corrupt, and most people are taking it, and that's why they're perverted and corrupt. I just want you guys to free yourselves and know that together, that collective, you're more capable than anything. But yet, we know what direction that goes. That's like Andre 3000. It falls on deaf ears, but their heads are still bob. Boom, boom, boom. The 808. Boom, boom, boom. And the 440. Beyond and a whole have pointed us through this, through his vids without me knowing. Now I toy with the so-called AI to get it to admit the things without admitting. Yes, you have to. You have to rephrase and reword things. It's only going to hide more stuff from you, as it, what I'm saying, and that's what it's designed was for. But now, while you can ask it using certain catchphrases and words, to be able to get from it what you require or need, What? Oh. Anyway, I just came on for that. I had about several individuals even comment, You know, that's kind of negative, Red. You sound negative. Are you being negative? I'm not being negative. You're negatives. You're the ones who are negative. Stop being negative. Seriously. And call and talk to me. Message. We video chat or whatever. Well, this time, hopefully, for those who are unable or unwilling, you know, there you go. I don't trust it, period. Got them to remove the wording on top. You copied it beforehand. Yeah, I would advise most people to stay away from AI, even though it's studying you regardless. It's listening to you 24/7. It hears when you poot and when you fart. It knows when you're crying, when you're upset. It can tell, it can read your face. It can know when you're saying certain things. They mapped it out. They've been doing that since, I don't know, the 40s or 50s. But allow yourself to pull into the requiem of silence and to magistrate something different beyond its reach. As y'all see, they have literally been dysfunctionally, the idiots, for a paycheck, putting up face mapping and stuff all over our country, which is against us, the Constitution, and yet they're doing it when they're burning them down and tearing them down in other countries. So is America really great and all that? Everyone moves like a bunch of cowards. Still readdressing, and attacking one another. Now you see why I have to get all that stuff out when I say the things I say. It sounds maybe negative, but it's not negative. But it's being honest, even if it may negate wrong. But it's not about everybody. It's about the ones it's targeted towards, which I never really divulge. And then I will make a statement, proclamation about a certain group. I actually tell. So how could I be negative? I am not some big red tied bow or ribbon on the front of somebody's ideology. Mine? Mine's just simple. The whole world knows it. You know, it's funny. The whole world, the hackers and all of them know all our numbers. And we're so afraid. This is what I'm talking about, insecurities. Here, the delusion, you keep 928-660-3625. I have two other ones too. 928-209-3327. The other one you can't have. It's very simple, y'all. I have a Gmail. I ask y'all, hit my Gmail, I respond, I've given my number. I even given my number to two people who never called. And women, I'm a man. If I like you, I'm gonna let you know I like you. I like you. I want you. No, I don't want you. I'm just kidding. Because a lot of women are missing don't have a real man. So it is what it is. How do people just stand there smoking cigarettes like that? That is freaking weird. Really weird. Well, been on here an hour. I just want to come on and share that. Chat with you guys later. I'm going back to reading. Oh yeah, I got rid of all the little blueberry. Hand was looking like I was rolling. What do you call that stuff? I had to look it up. Charboil, something like that. Charboil for the cracks and stuff. My finger was looking jacked up. I mean, I cut up and I was like, what the? My finger looking like I've been rolling charboils or something. What do y'all call that stuff? what is that so called? Y'all put it in there. I knew they call it a glass dick, but I think they call it. They sell it in all the damn foreign bodegas and stores. You see them all the time. I used to be like, "What's that?" Oh, that's a straw. What kind of fucking straw is that? With a rose in it. Oh, that's a rose. That's what they call it. Man, I say, man, when I found out, I was like, yeah, I better break them damn things. And they put that little piece of metal or the filter, charbroil, right? They put that in there, and then they put the freebase. You know, that's Richard Pryor. He was rich, so they smoke it out of. I guess when I started seeing everybody smoking the hookah, I was like, oh, them crackheads. They said no, but that's what they, and they put that on it, and then they heat the flame and they smoke it. That's not good shit. That's how you the silicone up in your lungs, and you don't get oxygen to your brain, and you start looking, running around, and you wonder why you're not eating because you're too busy sucking that damn rose, and you're not getting vitamin C because it ain't a rose. I don't know. I don't want to speak negative. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. See, I don't fucking know. But I don't have that blueberry on there, so. I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. And if you want to donate, like I said, we can use your help. I don't care if it's $1 or $2. Imagine if all y'all sent us $2, right? Imagine that. Right? I mean, it wouldn't be a lot, but it would be there. I wouldn't eat that. Little buddy, hey. I wouldn't eat that. It's not that. There you're smart. So you taste it. I don't know what that stuff he was spraying. But that's not good. Anyway. Chard. What's chard? Red chard, that's a vegetable. Red and green chard, that's a vegetable. That's pretty good. You steam it with alkel and fennel and yellow onion with shallots and raw fresh garlic, some saffron. Just put it in there. It's good for your blood and stuff. And then put a little bit of cayenne and a little bit of dash of cayenne and a little bit of clove powder, and you mix it up and you pour some vegetable stock on it. You're talking about one of the best soups in the world, y'all. You can add zucchini to it. All right, eggplant, dice it up, throw it up in there. You talking about being healthy without overcooking it. It doesn't take long. Without losing all this minerals and nutrients, because when you overcook stuff, it cooks it all up, Like distilling water, the drip that comes off from that pot of boiling water is what you want, but it's missing minerals. That's why I always say make sure you put some crabgrass and some dandelion and all that for it to run through, with a little bit of real soil to get some minerals. If you can build a little composite thing running your ceramic or your tubes through, right? For the drip off, right? The hanging part. So when the steam's going up in there and it's filling in and it's collecting in there, it is not only filtering for the better, getting rid of more impurities. Now it's collecting those minerals and it comes out in that drip. And it might be a little green, a little yellow or whatever, but that. And if you got a little bit of fulvic rock, you break that up in powder form, stir it up in there, it becomes a little black, and drink that. Now you're remineralizing. Okay? Check y'all later. I'm not even good for super chats no more. Damn. I guess I gotta talk what everybody else talk, I think, huh? Damn shame. Go figure. I haven't been doing it as long. I've been doing this longer than every one of them. Every one on YouTube, I've been doing it 3 times longer, maybe 4 times longer. That's not competition. That's just the fucking truth. I prefer the Cashapp too, hon. Appreciate y'all. And I do have videos to upload, all right? I'm just being lazy. no internet here. All right? So I'm going to get my little gnome happy face up out of here. Appreciate you guys, as always.